Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a great day today. As you can see, we've got a Barncaster in the studio. Now, if you guys don't know what a Barncaster is, it just refers to using kind of reclaimed wood to make a guitar body, whether it's actually barn boards or old fence boards, pallets, crates, whatever kind of wood you got lying around, you make a cool guitar body out of it. Doesn't cost a lot of money and a ton of fun. Now this Barncaster body was made by WALDROP guitars, and there's just something about, a roughed up and rough body and the Telecaster that just goes so perfectly together. And as I mentioned, these are not expensive bodies. We're talking between $50 and $100 for the body, obviously excluding all the pickups and hardware and stuff. But yeah, you don't have to spend a lot of money to get something with a lot of character, which is really cool. Now I met Paul from WALDROP Guitars over on my Patreon page, so huge shout out to Paul and everybody who supports the channel there. And he reached out and he was like, Daryl, I know you like to feature smaller builders on your channel. My company's literally just me. Is that too small? And I was like, no, if you're doing cool things, no problem. So I asked him to send something in that kind of represents what he's all about and what he does. So let's take it, throw it on the desk and check out what he sent in. All right, so let's check out the body, the pickups, all that kind of stuff. Then I'll throw a neck on there, we'll string it up and yeah, see what it sounds like. Should be a lot of fun. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of different wood types on here. This is made from reclaimed pallets. And as you can see from kind of like the center section here, it's super textured, which is really cool. And then there's all sorts of knots and cracks and that kind of stuff. Some really interesting, yeah, looks absolutely fantastic. You can see a couple screw holes where, screws had been removed and all that kind of stuff. But he does a really good job rounding it off, sanding it so it's very, very smooth. And man, I wish you guys could smell it. I've had it in the studio for probably 3 weeks now and it still smells like you're walking out into a forest. It just smells amazing. But yeah, as you can see, just a ton of character. And on the back, more of like a laminated kind of striped look, but still with some pretty interesting knots and character and stuff like that. So that's kind of like the back side there. You can see, all the laminated sections of wood. And then on the top side, obviously he put the wood the other way to feature all the cool, character. Okay, so here are the specs on the body. Now, Paul did this. I just said, send me in something that would be typical of your work and I'll feature it. So here's what he came up with. And, in my estimation, just looks phenomenal. So obviously he went with a natural wood. That's what a Barncaster is all about. But then he went with sort of like a black and gold aesthetic. I'll try to take some closer up shots here. But yeah, we've got a Wilkinson bridge with brass saddles. They're compensated, so it should be easy to intonate there. And then as for the pickups, it's a brand called True Custom Shop. Never used these guys before, but we'll plug them in. It looks like they're pretty beefy pickups, so I'm not sure if it'll be probably more of a roar and less of a twang, but we'll find out. And then check out these knobs. Matching knobs and switches, just so cool. And there's even a 4-way Telecaster switch. So we've got some other kind of interesting combinations as well. But yeah, just love that brass kind of machined look. Super cool. And of course, we've even got black strap buttons. So definitely have this whole kind of black and brass aesthetic going on. Just looks phenomenal. Well, since we're talking about the body, let's take a look inside the control cavity and see what we've got there. So great, we've got full-sized pots. Here's the 4-way Telecaster switch. We'll talk about that in a second. And we've got some shielding in there. Fantastic. So that looks great. Everything looks really well made. I like the cloth wiring that he used and everything. If you guys have specific questions about the parts he used, because I'm not intimately familiar with them, I'll put Paul's email in the video description. You can just contact him. But yeah, so here's the 4-way Tele switch. So in the back position 1 is just the bridge pickup. Here we've got in position 2, we've got the bridge and the neck together in parallel, then the bridge and the neck in series, and then neck only. So we kind of get a bonus position. And as I mentioned, love these knobs and everything. So yeah, everything looks really well made. So great job, Paul. Let's check out the neck. Now, as for the guitar neck, it's roasted maple, medium jumbo frets, bone nut, which is fantastic, locking tuners, WALDROP guitars, there it is. Awesome. Hip shot tuners. I've got serial number $59, made in the USA. So Paul mostly does guitar bodies, but he does do full builds if that's something, you know, that you would find helpful, or if you just want like a full custom kind of guitar, he will do it. So let's put on the neck, string it up, and plug this baby in. Let's see what this thing sounds like. Now, as I mentioned, Paul put a 4-way switch in, so let's see what each position brings to the table. So let's start with the bridge, and then we'll work our way to the neck, and we'll talk about the in-between positions as we go along. So here's the bridge. So I would say probably not as full-on twangy as like a really low output kind of like Fender pickup, but can still twang pretty good. And it's got some really nice, kind of body when you do some of those like open chords. So yeah, overall really nice. Now when we go to the second position here, this is these two pickups in parallel. So that's the same as like a regular Telecaster. Now I like that position quite a bit. It's got some nice little quack to it. Hopefully these strings will stay in tune. I just strung it up, so they're still stretching. But I actually like that position with these pickups quite a bit. Now, what we're gonna do is go to position 3. Now these two pickups are in series, which is more like a humbucker. So right away, you should notice it's quite a bit thicker and fuller. So just a big warm sound. Now if I go back a position to 2, now you should notice a huge difference there, quite a bit brighter and spankier, even though I'm playing the same kind of smooth line, right? And then if I go to series, much smoother tone. So those two inside positions, very, very useful. And then the good old telly neck, yeah. Let's try out the guitar with a little gain in the bridge pickup. So that's a quick look at the WALDROP Barncaster. Really cool guitar. As I mentioned, most people just buy his bodies and then do their own build. But if you're not, comfortable or confident to do a parts caster, well, he can do one up for you as well. And what a fun guitar. I mean, it turns heads whenever, anybody sees it. They're like, man, that is so cool. So yeah, they just have their own vibe. So if you're into that, check out WALDROP. I'll put his information in the video description below. I think he mostly sells through like Facebook and eBay, that kind of stuff, but I'll put it all down there. You can check it out. Other than that, hope you guys enjoyed the video. All my information, the gear I use will be down in there as well. Other than that, Have yourself a great day.